How's it going, everyone? It's Avi from Weather Sponge 1000, and in this video we're going to forecast what type of conditions you should expect this fall for each region in the United States. But before I begin, make sure to subscribe if you want to see more weather-related content. So let's begin by taking a look at the fall 2022 temperature forecast for the entirety of the lower 48. So this temperature forecast is based on several different factors, such as sea surface temperature anomalies, the El Nino forecast, as well as how the current drought severity is going throughout the United States. And based on those factors, you see that for the majority of the lower 48, it should be warmer than average this fall. So for the Northeast, I'm expecting it to be warmer than average because, of course, this summer has been very hot for the Northeast. We've experienced a multitude of heat waves where where I am in New Jersey, we've been experiencing temperatures right around the high 90s to even lower 100s in some areas in the Northeast. And I expect that I don't expect those temperatures to continue necessarily into the fall months, but I do still expect it to remain warmer than average, partially due to the fact that the Northeast is also dealing with somewhat of a drought as of right now. And typically when there's a drought, it's very difficult to get rid of it overnight or in a very quick time period. So I do expect this drought and this heat to continue for the Northeast, because the thing is that dry soil heats up a lot faster than moist soil. And since the soil right now for a lot of the Northeast is currently drier than normal, then we should see the soil heat up a lot faster, which as a result will lead to a warmer fall for this for the Northeast. So that's something to keep in mind. And also the sea surf temperatures just off the Northeast coast are much warmer than average for this time of the year, where the Western Atlantic is experiencing sea surf temperatures that are in excess of 5 degrees above average Fahrenheit at times. So I do believe that will contribute to the warmer than average air temperature for this fall, because of course the sea surf temperature anomaly plays a big role in terms of the temperatures you experience along the coast. And I expect the sea surf temperatures to be warmer than average, which will transfer that energy to the air temperature, which will allow the Northeast to experience the air temperature a little bit warmer than average. And for the Southeast, I'm also expecting the same. I'm expecting temperatures above average because the sea surf temperatures are warmer than average. We also are in a positive Atlantic multidectral oscillation, which historically speaking, when we're in a positive Atlantic multidectal oscillation, it's typically been warmer for the Southeast compared to the long-term 100-year average. So as a result, I do expect the temperatures to be warmer right around the Southeast for this fall. And you see that for the Southwest, however, I'm expecting the air temperature to be well above average this fall, because you guys are currently in a severe drought. You guys been in a severe drought for quite a few months now, and it's going to be very difficult for that to go away, especially since we're expected to receive a La Nina this fall, which typically does bring drier than average conditions for a lot of the southern United States. So I do believe that the warmer temperatures should last for the entirety of the fall, where it'll be well above average, because of course, since it's going to be so dry, the dry soil will heat up a lot faster than moist soil would. And of course, when the conditions are less moist and humid, there's less clouds that will block the short wave radiation from the sun from radiating down right around the Southwest. So as a result, the temperatures should be a lot warmer than average this fall for southwestern United States. The only areas where I'm expecting cooler than average temperatures is more so the northwestern and northern Midwest states, where I do expect the La Nina to bring a lot more noticeable jet stream dips to the Midwest, which will bring down those temperatures as the Arctic air associated with these jet stream dips will move further southward. And of course, I'm expecting a little bit more troughs to move through the Pacific Northwest as a result of pronounced of a well-defined Pacific jet stream moving through the Pacific Northwest, which typically happens during a La Nina, which does bring a little bit more moisture and as a result cooler conditions since there's less of that short radiation from the sun that's pretty much getting absorbed by the ground. So I expect the temperatures to be cooler than average for a lot of the northern United States as well. Now, another thing we're going to need to pay close attention to is the precipitation forecast for this fall. So starting with the Northeast, I'm expecting the precipitation to be at least around average, because while you guys are currently in a drought, I do expect the warmer than average sea surface temperatures to eventually humidify the atmosphere surrounding the Northeast, which should allow for a little bit more rain. I don't expect a lot more rain, however, and since you guys still are technically in a drought, I don't expect really necessarily a lot of this humidity associated with the sea surface temperatures to completely outweigh the fact that you guys are experiencing drought-like conditions. So I expect around average precipitation, at least for the coastal Northeast. For the Southeast as well, I'm expecting the same thing, because while typically speaking, during a La Nina and during a positive multi-decadal oscillation, you typically do experience drier than average conditions. However, thanks to the fact that I do expect the hurricane season to be a little bit more active, and the fact that the sea surface temperatures are warmer than average just off the southeast coast, I do expect a little bit more thunderstorm activity to surround the southeast, and potentially tropical cyclones to move in that could completely completely make this fall season around average when it comes to precipitation. Because even if it's dry for the entirety of the fall months, there still could be that possibility of a tropical cyclone moving into the southeast that could completely bring the precipitation amount around average in the southeast. And typically during a positive Atlantic multi-decadal oscillation, we do experience a little bit more moisture than average. So I think it will somewhat outweigh the type of conditions a La Nina would typically bring, which is drier than average conditions for southeast. So I'm expecting around average precipitation in the right around south coastal southeast, and further northward, more into the Ohio River Valley and the Midwest states. I'm expecting there to be a little bit more precipitation than average, and I do believe this is as a result of a La Nina that's expected to stay going into the fall months, which will bring more jet stream dips, and as a result more troughs right around the northern Midwest states, or right around the Great Lakes region. So I expect the precipitation to be a little bit more above average for this fall. And then moving on to the Southwest, of course, I'm expecting precipitation well below average, because you guys currently are in a very severe drought. It's very difficult for a drought to easily go away. So I do expect drought-like conditions to stay for the entirety of the Southwest for the most part, and I'm expecting well above average precipitation right around the Pacific Northwest, because we're going to see a prevailing Pacific jet bringing a lot of troughs right around the Pacific Northwest. And since it's so much drier than average for a lot of the United States, all that air needs to converge somewhere, and I do believe a lot of the air molecules along the surface will converge in the areas where that aren't necessarily drought stricken at this time. And the only areas that aren't really drought stricken in the United States are the Pacific Northwest, the northern Midwest. So I do expect the precipitation to be a little bit higher than usual for the Pacific Northwest. So that is my precipitation anomaly forecast. Now, taking a look at my fall forecast in general. So for the Northeast, I'm expecting it to primarily be warm with average precipitation for the most part, as I do expect So in the Northeast, I'm expecting it to be warmer than average as a result of the warmer than average sea surface temperatures we're experiencing, and the somewhat of a small drought. And for the Southeast, pretty much the main point I want to make is to watch for hurricanes. This is expected to be a more active than usual hurricane season, so there is a higher possibility that a tropical storm or hurricane could make landfall, especially with warmer than average sea surface temperatures just off the southeast coast. So you want to pay close attention to that. And then for the southwestern portion of the United States, I'm expecting it to be very hot and much drier than average. You guys are in a severe drought. It will only be compounded by the fact that a La Nina is expected to build for the southwestern United States, so that will only make it conditions even more drier for the southwestern United States. So I expect it to be very hot and dry for the fall for a lot of the southwestern United States, and for a lot of the northern United States, including the Pacific Northwest and the Great Lakes region and the northern Great Plains. I do expect it to be a little bit more cooler and moist than average, with potentially the possibility of snow in the higher elevations as a result of a prevailing Pacific jet expected to bring more troughs and more jet stream dips that should bring more cold fronts further southward, which will make it conditions a little bit more moist and cooler than average for the most part for a lot of the northern United States. So this is my fall forecast for 2022. If you want even more in-depth forecasts regarding what type of conditions you should expect this fall in your specific location, just make sure to comment your specific location down below, and I will do my best to give you an answer of what type of conditions you should expect this fall. So make sure to comment down below if you're interested. But anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more weather content, and I hope you guys all have a great day.